What's up, guys? My name is Chaotic, back at you guys another one today. Hope you guys stay high, stay lifted. You know what it is. Let's get into this video. So this is gonna be my first time experience with this substance 4-HO-DET. So it's 4-hydroxydietyl-tryptamine. So it's actually similar to 4-HO-MET and as well as 4-ACO-DMT, which is synthetic shrooms. But it's actually the active ingredient, I think. Or no, it just converts into psilocin, 4-ACO-DMT. So it is very similar to shrooms. It has the same active ingredient as shrooms, except it starts off different. So I was just going to get into the effects of 4-HO-DET and how similar it is in shrooms. Yeah, hopefully get a perspective on how different it is from shrooms. Basically, yeah, take harm reduction and you hope you learn something from this video. So yeah, 4-HO-DET, I believe it's got a normal dosage range as like 10 milligrams or more for like a common dose. Not really sure what the common dose is right off my head, but I would assume it's like that because shrooms really don't only need that much. Like when it's synthetic, like you don't need to take 100 milligrams of synthetic stuff because it's very concentrated basically. So 4-HO-DET feels a lot like shrooms, you know. The come up is different. I would say the Headspace is different. It has a more like recreational feel than shrooms does. Shrooms has a more natural introspective feel. This has more like synthetic feel. But however, it also feels like a tryptamine. So what I mean by that is that it feels like, you know, I guess, what would you say? What's a good word? Soul revealing or something like spiritual. Like it really taps into that. Like acid's like purely recreational. This is a little less recreational, but it's still more recreational than shrooms, okay? So basically what I mean by that is you're going to have a better headspace, I assume, you know. But if it's a different chemical, you know, always take harm reduction into consideration. Take a low dose, please. Don't be taking a big dose of that stuff. So yeah, 4-HO-DET. It's a pretty good chemical. You know, I got it a few times back almost 2 years ago from this vendor, man. I just really love that stuff. And I actually would pick it up again. It's pretty worth it, you know, because not many people have, you know, access to some of that. So it would be a really good substance, you know, to keep for your record, you know, if you have a collection of research chemicals, you know, because you never know. You never know when the time comes where they're gone, you know, because that shit can happen. You know, I actually had a period of collecting, but I ran through all those research chemicals, so good luck keeping them. I honestly don't even know where to begin with this. So the come up is really different, I guess you could say, than shrooms. I think it comes on quicker. Shrooms might take a little longer to kick in, but this was just pure powder. So I put, you know, the powder on my tongue, ate a little bit of it, and yeah. So the dosage range is 10 to 20 milligrams for a light to common dose. Make sure that you're gonna weigh it out, you know, if you can. Can't weigh it out because it's a really, like, if you don't have a really good scale, it's not gonna weigh well. You're gonna have to probably, which is not good for harm reduction, you're probably gonna have to eyeball it. Please be careful. Please at least try to weigh it. Put it in a capsule or something, because I noticed like if it's in a capsule, it's a little like it weighs easier, but if it's out of the capsule for some reason it won't weigh on that damn scale, but it has to be in a capsule and it will weigh whatever's in that pill. So yeah, try to get a capsule or something, put it in that, you know, just make a pill out of it. So anyways, the come up is not intense, I would say, because I didn't take a big dose at all. I took a normal dose, you know, I took a light to common dose, 10 to 20 milligrams. It's 20 to 30 for a medium to high dose. Yeah, the come up was interesting. I noticed it was a little more colorful actually. Yeah, more colorful than shrooms, because in that way, that's why also it was actually more recreational, because like acid has more colors, right? It's like more like vibrant and shit. So this is like similar to like more of a acid high where there's more colors and things were more vibrant, except it was a shroom high. So just imagine shroom visuals a little more colorful, a little more less fucky. Yeah, the headspace is not mind fucky. Basically, there's not really too much of a headspace, but I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is one when you take a, like, you know, a dose equivalent to like an eighth of shrooms. Yeah, you might have a headspace, but I'm just speaking from experience. I think it has less headspace for sure, but you never know. You know, leave me down in the comments if you had a different experience. If you had more of a headspace, if you had less of a headspace. I think it doesn't have less of a headspace, but it has a lighter headspace. Like it's not gonna fuck with you like shrooms would, because shrooms also has whatever else in it, like natural whatever. I don't know, but I don't even think psilocin is the only active ingredient sometimes on those shroom trips, because that shit grows naturally. So yeah, it's interesting stuff. So yeah, 4-HO-DET. I was coming up within 30 minutes, okay? 30 to 45 minutes I started noticing effects. Up to an hour it took for me to really notice effects. Like I would just look around and I would see things just kind of start to wave a little bit and breathe. I'm like, oh yeah. And it was very reminiscent of shrooms, because shrooms has a different, like the DMT, I don't know, the tryptamines. It's a tryptamine. So shrooms is a tryptamine, 4-HO-DET is a tryptamine. So these tryptamines, very similar to DMT more than LSD. So yeah. The visuals are just more natural. It's hard to describe. Like on acid, it would look more cartoony, right? But this looks more natural. It would make things look more real than it is. You know, acid could do that too, but it's tends to have the effect of making things cartoony, but you know, this didn't. So I was happy to say that even though it's synthetic completely, it actually felt a lot like shrooms. So yeah, someone can definitely unintentionally dose you with this stuff, by the way, and be careful because they actually put some stuff in some off-brand shroom chocolates. So be careful where you're getting shroom chocolates from. Make sure you get it from legit source because it might have synthetic shrooms, because it's very easy for someone to order a bulk powder order of a synthetic, you know, RC that is just like shrooms, and they can literally make chocolates out of it. So yeah, be careful, man. But anyway, so 4-HO-DET, very, very good chemical. I would definitely try it out if I were you. If you're watching this video and never tried it before, yeah, man, be safe, you know, drink water. It's gonna be like a regular psychedelic trip. Most of these psychedelic RCs actually follow the same safety profile as the psychedelic as they come from, or like I bet it was synthesized from 4-ACO-DMT, so it follows the same safety profile as 4-ACO-DMT, which is safe. So yeah, you're not gonna go any wrong. Psychedelic RCs are probably might be the safest out of all the other RCs to do, because it's not a stimulant RC. Who knows what those do over time? You know, but most of these other psychedelic RCs already been synthesized, you know, for at least almost 50 years, actually. You know, in the 70s, they started synthesizing a lot of these RCs. Yeah, they went balls to the wall with that shit, you know, in the past with the chemistry. I would love to know how to do all that stuff. But yeah, anyway, so back to the 4-HO-DET trip. So it lasted shorter than shrooms. Lasts like, I think 4 hours, 5 hours. Like, it doesn't last as long as shrooms for sure. I think that's why it's more recreational, you know, get away with redosing it more often. You're not committing to a huge trip, but if you do, I mean, guess you can, but I'm sure it'd be less scary than a shroom trip equivalent to that dose. For some reason, yeah, shrooms, damn, it can really fuck with you. I guess it would still induce panic in people that have a predisposition. If they have anxiety before the trip, still follow the same safety profile as any other psychedelic. Have a trip sitter, you know, make sure you tested this shit. Make sure you know it's legit. Make sure you just double check, triple check, because you never know who's passing off what. Because actually, sometimes the RCs aren't even what they are. They could be something else, so be careful. But yeah, man, I was just, you know, tripping out for the whole night. I was smoking weed, and I really liked how, you know, I was getting entactogenicness a little bit because of the tryptamine. What the tryptamine does, it makes you feel like soul connected. Like I was getting that connection. So I would say it definitely pars up to shrooms. Yeah, you never know. You could be unintentionally getting some shroom chocolate somewhere, and it might even not even be shrooms, and you never know. That's how, no, seriously, that's how similar this feels to shrooms. So if someone told you that was shrooms, you're gonna placebo the rest of the trip. And even though you did shrooms before, you're probably never even gonna notice that it was not shroom, because it's that similar, yes. So I would assume it works on the same receptors in the brain, has the same method of action, just different dosage range and a different kind of trip. You know, it's not dimethyl, it's diethyltryptamine. So it's pretty interesting how just a little bit of a change of that little end of the chemical changes it, you know, into, I guess, it changes the headspace for sure, changing that a little bit of the chemical, and also, I guess, how long it lasts, the duration. So yeah, man, just be careful out there. Make sure it's 4-HO-DET, you know, never know. Could even be 4-HO-MET. That's Pitocin, by the way. So I forgot 4-HO-DET was. Oh, it's Pitocin or some shit. So yeah, they have names actually, so it's pretty interesting. So Pitocin, I think, and then yeah, we got fucking psilocin. You know, that is 4-HO-DMT. That's what it converts to. That's the active drug that it converts to when you take 4-HO-DMT, the synthetic version of shroom. So it's really interesting stuff. Now, just be safe out there, man. You make sure you have a trip sitter if you're ever gonna try this for your first time. If you don't, man, please read up about it and watch this video, you know, for all the harm reduction and information. I just hope you guys are being safe wherever you are. You know, I just really love this trip. I would say it was definitely repeatable. You know, that's why I don't even have any 4-HO-DET anymore. So that is what it is. And yeah, back to, you know, whatever. Yeah, I just don't have any psychedelics anymore other than acid. You know, I don't really fuck with the psychedelic RCs too much anymore because there's not really any new ones. So I only try it if there's new ones. So yeah, there's that. So I mean, I'm not really interested in RCs anymore either. So there's that too. But yeah, it was just a scene, you know, like it was just like a little fucking thing I had going on, you know, for a bit of these RCs, but I was done, you know, after a bit. But yeah, man, but it was some good experimenting. I would say, you know, going through all those RCs, they're pretty safe as long as you're applying harm reduction, man. So that's all you guys gotta do. Y'all will be safe. Now, the trip ended really well, you know. I got good sleep. The after effects, it didn't actually do anything, actually, you know. It was just like waking up any other day after a psychedelic trip. I got good sleep because it didn't last like acid did. What more can I ask, you know? It was just like any other. It was actually more similar to 4-HO-MET than 4-ACO-DMT. So if you ever tried 4-HO-MET, you basically know what to expect with this one. It feels exactly the same, actually. So I really couldn't tell the difference between either. But I think Pitocin has a more entactogenic feel than 4-HO-DET. But both have a little more, you know? I hope you guys guys stay high, stay lifted. Stay tuned for the next one. Get up to 2,000 subs, man. That's my next goal. And let's get it, man. So hope you guys are enjoying wherever you are. Staying hot. Peace out.